Hello, so I thought that I would put together a presentation of how I actually trade the FTSE. So this is going to show you what I actually do, all using the iPhone. So I'm going to show you how to set your phone up with daily analysis, background sourcing, chart setup with trade techniques. So most of you have probably seen this before. Guys sitting at home, five, six, eight screens, all set up, day trading, constantly sitting there at the machine. Well, that's not what I do. That's not my lifestyle. I have a full-time job. I have traded like this before, but it's very, very difficult when you're obviously working, providing an income, and you still want to trade. So I found a way of trading with my mobile phone, and I'm going to show you how I do it. So this is the app that I use. I'm currently using IG. I think it's the best one out there. Mobile phone trading has come a long way since it first came out. Still not as good as what you can do sitting in front of your desk with Real Time Pro. Of course, that's the best piece of software that I've used so far. But hey, who's going to sit at a desk all day at home when you've got your real job to do? So the first thing I do is a daily analysis where I retrieve some information from the web. It's going to be from Reuters, live charts, and Twitter. If you go on the FTSE Fellowship Twitter account, you'll see who I'm following, and you can connect to those people and get the same sort of information that I achieve. So the point here, though, is that you can oversource your information to the point where it gets very, very confusing. And I think the best thing to do when it comes to trading the FTSE is to keep it simple. There's hundreds of traders out there, all giving their analysis and their technical views and opinions. Everybody's got their idea of what's going to happen. If you overcrowd yourself, you just spend so long getting confused. So it's always best to keep it simple. If you look, I'm only following about 13 people anyway, I get my sources of information from only a handful of places. It might not always be right, but I think the most important thing is to stick to one or two or three pieces of information for your source, no more than that. So as I was saying before, your pro real time. If you use this chart setup, sitting at home in front of your desk, you're going to get your support lines and your trends and resistances. Your mobile phone doesn't really do that. So what I've done is I've come up with my own little table that I make at the beginning of the day before I start trading. So what this has come from live charts. It's easily out there. If you go to the pivot section of live charts, you'll get the same information. So this is the information from the previous day. So you've got your standard pivots, Fibonacci's, cam levels. Bianca Trends, this is another website that I use, biancatrend.com. You'll get this information as well. It's just information that I use for the sentiment and the levels that I trade off. So you'll see me trade off these levels here. Okay? I mostly go for the pivots, resistances and supports, and the fibs. I don't really touch these cam levels on Bianca Trends, but I put them up there anyway, just to get an overall feel. The sentiment I have up here is from another website that I use. You'll find that on my Twitter account, and that just basically tells me what the overall sentiment is of the day. So, for example, on the Thursday, sentiment was buy, and the key reversal level was 69.75. Doesn't always hit this, but if it does, then that's a big reverse level where it's likely to change direction. So so if we hit that, it's gonna go up. So it's a buy signal. But overall, the sentiment for the day of the FTSE was a buy. So I just use this as a guide. So how do I set my charts up? Right. So we've all probably seen IG before. So this is my trading account. There's no funds in it at the moment. That's because I don't want you to see what I'm what I'm trading with. But I'm going to show you how I actually set my my FTSE 100 trading up. So this is my watch list. So don't have a lot in there. I just keep it quite simple. Obviously the FTSE, the DAX, Wall Street, S&P 500, oil, Asia, China, Japan, Australia, Euro USD, and spot gold. So I just keep an eye on these and what's going on. Helps me make my mind up what's happening with the FTSE. Okay, so first thing I do is I have to set up my indicator alerts. Now you can't actually do that on your mobile phone, for example your iPhone. The only thing you can do on an iPhone is set up alerts. So unfortunately you're going to have to go onto your web-based IG platform and set up your indicator alerts for them to activate on your iPhone. But you only need to do this once. So I'm going to show you my indicator alerts, what I do. So first thing I do is I set up, the first alert is to let me know what the sentiment is. So what I will do first is set up an MACD, moving average convergence divergence, on the 5 minute. So I'll just show you here now. It's very quick, doesn't take long. So 4, 12, 6, below value 0 at the end of the 5 minute candlestick every time this condition is met. And this, when this happens, I get myself alerted on my phone as a short. This just tells me that the 5 minute candlestick is gone bearish. So that's the first one. Next I did exactly the same but for bullish. So change that to 5 minutes, another MACD, change that to 4, 12, 6, slightly faster than the standard. I just find that's best for me every time, and that's along. So that tells me the sentiment on the 5 minute chart. Okay, next is the 30 minutes. So set indicator alert. Now what I've got here is, this is the exponential moving average, and this is to tell me that the 10 EMA crosses the 25 EMA. So I use a 10 and a 25 on the 30 minute, and this alert I put 30 minute cross. So this is just to tell me what the sentiment is. So I've got 2 short and long on the 5 and 1 on the 30 minute. Okay, next I set up my RSIs. Now the first one I do is a 3 1 minute RSI. Now I'll just show you here. So period 6 is below 20, add another RSI 17 is below 30, and RSI 31 is below 33. And this is for my longs. Set that up. Do the same again for the shorts. 1 minute. RSI. So we do 6 is over 80. Add another RSI 17 is over 70. Add another RSI 31 is over 68. Immediately, every time this condition is met, short. So that's my RSI trigger. Next, another RSI, another short and long, this time on the 30-minute chart. So RSI 6 is below 80. At the end of the candlestick, every time this condition is met, that's my long. And then last one, back on 30, RSI 6 is over 79. At the end of the candlestick, every time this condition is met, short. Okay. So that is my indicator alerts set up. You only have to do this once. Like I said, you can't do it on your mobile phone. The only thing you can do on your mobile phone is obviously set price alerts. So we've set the indicator alerts. So if we go onto the alerts, you'll see which ones I've got here. So just for the FTSE, and you can do this for the other indices. You know, sometimes I do this for Wall Street as well. So we've got MACDs on the 5-minute charts to tell me when it's going short and long. That's for sentiment. We've got a 30-minute exponential moving average to let me know when the 10 EMA crosses the 25 EMA. That just tells me the sentiment as well. And then these RSI alerts, these will trigger when I want to make a trade. First one is a 1 minute. This confirms when movement happens on the FTSE really quickly. It draws me attention to my phone, and then that's when I pay attention to when I'm likely to make a trade. Then we've got the 30-minute long and short RSI. So next I'll just show you how I set my chart up. You can, this is how it's going to look on your mobile phone as well. I'm just doing it on the web-based platform. Just give me a second, it takes a while to load. Okay, right, so let's make this a little bit bigger. So, like I was saying, I don't look at any other time frame apart from the 30-minute and the 2 hour. I've got a real job to do, obviously. Trading isn't a full-time job for me, and I don't have time to sit at my desk looking at a 5-minute, 1 minute time frame. You know, it's quite distracting. So I do everything from the 30-minute upwards. So I'll just quickly show you how I set this up. So first thing I add, MACD. Put that on. Keep that as it is, EMA. Now I'll change this to the 10 and the 25. And then I have the 200 moving average, 200-day moving average. So you've got a 10, 25, which matches my alerts that I was showing you earlier. You can see there when the 10 has crossed the 25, I'm going to get an alert there, and that's telling me what the sentiment is. So you can see here that the 10 is above the 25, so that tells me that it's bullish. Obviously here, bearish, reverse. So it's just an indicator, another indicator. RSIs, and I put this on as 10. Now, you're limited here with IG because you can only have one RSI indicator on. Obviously, real time pro, you can put as many on as you like. So I just stick with the 10, the 10 RSI. Right, so that's the 30-minute. Also put the pivots on, but bear in mind that the IG pivots are different to the live charts pivots that I show. This table here, just go back. This table here, these pivots do not include the weekend, okay, but the IG pivots do, so they're slightly off. Now these are the ones that you want to trade with. To be honest, they're both wrong, because the real pivots are from obviously when the FTSE opens live, which is 8 AM till 4:30. But the software that I've got, can't do that. So I trade with these, and they work. So how do I do this? So basically, I keep an eye on these levels here. When my RSI alerts go off, for example here, if you look here, you've got RSI 74. Now I'm going to get my 1 minute RSI go off first, and that's to go short, okay? Then I'm going to get the 30-minute RSI. For example, the 30-minute RSI, let's have a look. Move this back down here. So my 30-minute RSI, where is it? There, short. For this case it's actually 79. See that? There's the 79 RSI, but the chart shows it's only hit 74 at the close, but it would have reached 79. I'll show you in a second when this comes back up. Just takes a while. So basically I'm using my table that I come up with in the morning. If we just put the RSIs back on. Change that to a 10. There. This is a 10. This is, if we change this to a 6, you'll see here, there. Okay. So in this particular case, see we've got an 81. So I would have, my RSI indicator alerts would have gone off. If we look at the level's around the 70-50 area. 70-50 on my table. R1. Fib R1 70-42, Fib R2 70-54, R1 50. So I've got an alert going off 70-50 area. Looks like a good place to make a short. You've got the Fib R2, you've got the R1. First resistance after the PIV, I would make a short at that level here. And that's basically what I do. So the only other alerts that I have on my mobile is, as I was saying, the price alerts. So I will probably set price alerts close to my table that I came up with in the morning. So I'll have alerts around this area when I look at the direction of which way the FTSE's going. And that's basically about it. Like I said, this is part-time trading, as well as doing your main job at the same time. This isn't a technique that I would use sitting in front of the screen at home if you've got the opportunity to do that. This is for somebody that has another job. They've got access to their phone. You can keep it in your pocket. Your alerts will buzz. You're spending no more than 1 or 2 minutes looking at your phone, getting ready to make that trade. You can see here with my RSI that was quite successful. You can see from the 50 area, it's gone all the way down, 20, hit the 10, hit the 70-10. And you can see here, you can follow it along here with the RSIs, the alerts, where it's bearish, bullish here, still using the table that I've come up with. And that's basically about it. I keep it as simple as possible. Bear in mind though that I actually only do try and make 10 points a trade. I don't have the time to sit there on my phone. Like I said, I've got a real job to do when my boss comes over. Last thing he wants to see is me trading. So when I do activate a trade, I try and make no more than 10 points. 10, 15 points at the most. And that's about it. So more videos to come. I'll go into a little bit more depth about how I actually do the trades and some background information of what I've learned from the FTSE. Bear in mind, I am a rookie trader. Don't consider myself to be a professional or anything like that. I've been trading the FTSE for about 4 years now. I've done very well successfully doing at-home trading. But my table that I've come up with, it works. It works on the 30-minute chart. And I recommend that you all give it a go, really. So best of luck to you.